here in Times Square. 74-kilogram bout here between David Taylor of the United States and Yabrail Hasanov of Azerbaijan. The 24-year-old matched up with David Taylor, age 23, two-time NCAA champ, two-time runner-up at Penn State. Won the Hodge Trophy as the top college wrestler twice during his time with the Nittany Lions. Known as the Magic Man. Let's see if he creates some here in New York City.
You know, contrast in styles. You know, Yabrail, you know, short, compact, and then ultimately, you know, David Taylor, long, lengthy. You know, just two complete different style wrestlers internationally. That's what makes it so fun, is figuring out what style of wrestling is going to work for you.
And this Azerbaijani wrestler, third at both the 2010 and 2011 World Championships, and was fifth at the Olympics in 2012 in London. And as you might expect, Taylor known for aggression right after it here against Hasanov.
And that's what Yabrail is, being able to, you know, stay in somewhat good position, you know, close situation, and that's where, you know, that short, you know, ability to have those short legs, you know, it's a contrast in styles, and so much of it is just controlling those angles, and that's, you know, so important that David was able to continue, keep the pressure on it, and then ultimately tie it up, get it taken down for the two-point takedown. Very spectacular start to this match.
So Taylor on the board. He had an epic match a couple of weeks ago at the U.S. Open final against the reigning Olympic gold medalist, two-time world champ of the United States, Jordan Burroughs, are in the same weight class. He had the lead 6-3 in the final minute, but Burroughs broke through with two incredible takedowns in the final 30 seconds to win 7-6. Definitely part of the learning curve for Taylor at the international level.
Oh, it is. It's the ability to be able to perform magic when you have to, and that's where, you know, like Jordan being an Olympic champion, a world champion, you know, you have to sometimes be able to come up with points from nowhere, and that's what he's done. And, you know, David, you know, you may have one situation where you learn from it, or it may happen over and over, but you have to be able to learn from those situations, because being ahead of an Olympic champion, you know, with a minute left, that's something special. And, you know, to make that mistake, it's a mistake. Ultimately, you know, you can learn from it, or it can really haunt you.
Still the early score from Taylor. The only points thus far, about 2 minutes into this opening 3-minute period.
Who's gonna get who here?
Little funk from Taylor. And Hasanov trying to finish off two for the takedown. Nothing yet. Taylor responded. And stalemate. Big flurry. No points.
You know, and that's where it's just spectacular, from, you know, being in a bad position to get taken down to ultimately, you know, to trying to get an attempt yourself to a stalemate. It's just, you know, truly special watching the different styles of wrestling. And that's where, if you can look, you know, Yabrail is actually kind of giving him that angle, being like, hey, do you want to take that single leg again? Try it, because I think I have something that may score on you. And so a lot of it just comes down to the grit and the confidence.
Well, Hasanov lost to Jordan Burroughs to the quarterfinals of the Worlds last year. This weight class gave him a stern test, and he's giving the same here to David Taylor at this point. Still 2-0, latter stages, first period.
One thing I've seen, Hasanov has actually got the underhook on David, and he's kind of, you know, lifted a little bit, and, you know, being in leverage. It's all about leverage and understanding who's under, who's got an underhook. You know, David's giving up that underhook, and, you know, that's where Hasanov could actually get in a position to a lateral drop or a throw.
Well, Taylor of the United States able to pick up the two with the lead. Here's how he did it.
And that's, you know, David with the single leg. It almost switched off. Hasanov almost got a position where he could scramble. And then ultimately, David just, you know, controlling that angle, getting around the corner, and then finish it off for the double leg for the two-point takedown. Just spectacular to get ahead in this, you know, early period of this match.
Hasanov finished second at the World University Games last year. Taylor was third. Both of them lost to the former world champ from Russia, Denis Sargush. And again, now these two meeting here. Second period underway. Again, Taylor of the United States, 2-0 on Hasanov of Azerbaijan.
You know, and Hasanov is, you know, 24, and David Taylor's 23. So typically, you know, they almost have a lot of the same, experiences, maybe some of the same losses, the same people, but ultimately, learning from each other. These matches really, prove and actually start showing, which wrestlers are going to rise to the top. And, David Taylor coming out to get ahead, 2-0 and to scramble in some of the situation, he's really making a push to this next level of international wrestling.
Hasanov has been warned for the second time.
Shot clock is on here against Hasanov. He's got 30 seconds in which to get a point if he does, and Taylor will pick up another point and increase his lead to 3-0. Again, that's a rule new to wrestling. It induce more offense.
Taylor must defend for another 10 seconds.
David, with the situation to go down and change low level for a single leg, and taking Hasanov his own technique and then turning it on him, just because you're not going to give up in a hard situation. And that's where a lot of true wrestlers, true champions, they don't back down from a challenge. And right now, Hasanov probably had guys that would quit in the past, but David's not going to be that wrestler today, and that's why he's ahead 4-0 in 2 situations where he could be actually down.
Give him 2 more for that takedown while his foe was on the shot clock. So 4-0 lead for David Taylor. 4-time Ohio State high school champ, and again, the 2 NCAA titles at Penn State, 2-time runner-up, and again dealing with Hasanov under 90 seconds left, and look at that move. Taylor able to turn it into 2 more.
Just spectacular for Hasanov, elevating the hips, coming around, actually going to come out the back door, and David Taylor being able to step over and actually lock it to control and actually get the legs in for the takedown. It's just, something that's truly special. A lot of athletes, can work their whole career and never develop that technique, and, David's, really showing some great things here.
Making the transition from college wrestling to the international level. And again, a lot of folks are looking forward to Madison, Wisconsin at the end of the month, May 31st, June 1st, the World Team Trials in freestyle. Maybe he'll get another rematch with Jordan Burroughs. We'll see, but right now he has handled his business as Taylor against his opponent from Azerbaijan.
This is where Hasanov, a lot of times, and the referee is, warning Team USA, hey, watch your hands, watch your control. And a lot of times, you get late, you start trying to misdirection your partner, by grabbing the fingers, by making them think, oh, I'm gonna, go for a single leg, and you actually go for a body lock. And that's the thing that David Taylor needs to watch out for, is one big throw. Even though, you've been controlling the whole match, one throw could neutralize this and put you in a position. So it's smart that he stays, keep things low, don't give him an opportunity to come back up to the feet.
It's been a classic performance here from David Taylor. Can he finish it off? It looks like he will. Now the hand out from Hasanov. He knows he's been beaten. David Taylor with a 6-0 shutout. And a strong performance in front of the home crowd here in New York City.